Hello, and welcome to the video tutorial for students in History 2550, the history of Latinos and Latinos in the United States, using American Factfinder to obtain census data. The purpose of this video is to show you how to use the Census Bureau's web portal, American Factfinder, in order to obtain census data for your assignment. In your assignment, you're going to collect both national and local data that will help you to make sense of trends in the Latino population over time using a few important measures. So let's begin. We'll go to the American Factfinder website. And you can get to American Factfinder just by searching for it using any search engine on the web. Now, from American Factfinder, what we'll do first is go to the menu at the top and select the Community Facts link. And what this will do is take you to a page containing a list of summary measures for the United States, drawn from the most recent decennial census of 2010, the 2012 American Community Survey, the 2013 Population Estimates Program, and the 2000 decennial census. Some of the data that you need for the national component of your assignment are readily available right from this list, including the total population of the United States. This is displayed right at the top, and it's drawn from the 2010 decennial census. The source is always identified, or always identified on the screen. You can also get to the total population self-identified as Hispanic or Latino of any race. And in order to get to that, you go to the race and Hispanic or Latino origin link that's on this list and select it. And on this screen, you'll see the total Hispanic or Latino population of any race listed in this table. Now let's go back. And immediately below that link, there's another one indicating Hispanic or Latino by type, that is national origin. So you select this link. The census table will provide you with the distribution of the national origin subgroups by population, now for your assignment there are some other national measures that you need, including the mean household income for the total population and the Latino population, the median household income for both of those categories, those who have earned a high school diploma for the total population and the Latino population, and those who live below the official poverty line for the total population and the Latino population. Now, although these measures don't appear in the short list in the center of the screen, all of them are available from the menu on the left side of the screen. So let's go topic by topic, moving from top to bottom. Under Education, what we do is we click on the Education link on the menu on the left side of the screen. And when you do this, this will bring up a new short list. Right at the top, we see a measure for educational attainment. Percent of those in the population who have high school graduation or higher. It's 85.7%. And here again, the source is identified. In this case, the source is the 2008-2012 American Community Survey 5-year estimates. And we should keep this source in mind because social and economic data is collected by the American Community Survey, which is a program of the census, while population and housing data is collected by the decennial census. Now note that this figure is only for the total U.S. population. And none of the other links on this list below are going to give us data for either the Latino population as a whole or for the various national origin subgroups of the Latino population. So we're going to have to search for this data. But we do have something very important to use for running this search, and that's the name of the table we're looking for: educational attainment, high school graduate or higher. We'll come back to this when it's time to search. Now let's move on to income. If we select the income link from the menu on the left side of the screen, this is going to give us another short list with national figures. The major figure that's displayed at the top is for median household income, measured in dollars. And the source of this, once again, is the 2008-2012 American Community Survey 5-year estimates. Now, if you select the first link on the short list titled Selected Economic Characteristics, Employment, Commute, Occupation, Income, and Poverty, the table that is returned to you on this screen will also provide you, if you scroll down a bit, with the mean household income measured in dollars. And it's drawn from the same ACS 5-year estimates. The same table will also provide data on the percentage of individuals and families nationwide whose income in the past 12 months is below the poverty level, though not the number of people in each category. And in order to get to that, you have to scroll down to the bottom of the table. And this will give you that level. Percentage, or those measures, the percentage of families and people whose income in the past 12 months is below the poverty level. Now here again, we must note that the figures in this particular table are reported only for the total U.S. population, and none of the other links on this list are going to give us data for the Latino population. So we'll have to search for this data. Now moving on to poverty. If you select the poverty link, the menu on the left side of the screen, another short list with national figures is displayed. And the major displayed figure is the same one that we previously saw in the income table. That is, the percentage of individuals below the poverty level drawn from the 2008-2012 American Community Survey 5-year estimates. But this poverty section contains additional details that you'll need for your assignment. If you select the first link on this list titled Poverty Status in the past 12 months, Age, Sex, Race, Education, and Employment, you'll be able to view additional measures that were not provided on the income table. And these include the number of individuals living below the poverty line, and both the number and the percentage of the Hispanic Latino population nationwide living below the poverty line. So here's the Hispanic or Latino population. This is the total population column. This is the population that lives below the poverty level, and the percent below the poverty level. Now, while this table does provide the additional nationwide figures for the Latino population as a whole, it does not give us the figures by national origin. We'd have to search for those. So at this point, we still need to collect the following national measures. We need the percentage of the Hispanic Latino population with educational attainment of high school graduation or higher. And we're also looking for the median household income of the Hispanic Latino population and the mean household income, or the average household income of the Hispanic Latino population. Now, to obtain these, what we'll need to do is use the search engine in American Factfinder. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Let's start with educational attainment. Now, from American Factfinder's main menu, what you want to do is select Advanced Search from the menu that runs along the top of the screen. And what this will do is take you to a screen where you can enter topical and geographic search criteria. Now, since we're still looking for national level data, we'll just enter topical search terms. So the terms we enter should refer to both the subject and the population we want. So here in the topic search field, what we should type is educational attainment, and Hispanic, Latino. And then hit go. And we are returned a screen that has quite a few results. Now there's a few important things to note about this results list. First of all of the tables containing this measure group the data by sex. So to get the combined number and percentage for male and female, we'll have to do a little bit of calculation. Another thing to note is that on the right hand side of the result list there's a column, and what we can see here is the source for each survey, and all of them are drawn from different American Community Survey estimates. If we want the educational attainment data we collect for the Latino population to be the most comparable to what we already have for the total population, we should use the same survey, which in this case was the 2008-2012 American Community Survey 5-year estimates. And that is available on our result list. So in this case, we just have to find it. And we have to go down a little bit further than halfway in the result list. But here we will see a source as the 2012 ACS 5-year estimates and a table that's titled Sex by Educational Attainment for the population 25 years and over, Hispanic or Latino. And it even has a unique table number, which is listed here. And this can be very useful because it's a powerful tool for obtaining high precision search results. You can just plug this number into your search field and it'll bring up only these tables. So if we go to this table, what we'll see is the data for educational attainment for the male and the female Hispanic Latino population. Now, let's move on to the median and mean household income data. And when you run searches in American Factfinder, it's always a good idea to start with a clean slate, because as you run searches, your search criteria are saved. And in this window here, this box, I should say, near the top left of the screen, you're going to see your search criteria that have been saved. So when you're starting a new search, it's always a good idea to clear it out. So then you start with a clean search screen. So here again, we want to combine subject and population specific terms in our search. So what we'll type in this case is median household income Hispanic Latino, and we'll run a search. And again, we get a substantial number of results. Now once again, as well, we have a choice of data sources for our table. And so here, once again, we should use the 2008-2012 American Community Survey 5-year estimates so as to have data that is most comparable to what we've already obtained for the total population. So we'll look for that. And what we want here is the table titled Median Household Income in the past 12 months in 2012 inflation adjusted dollars for the Hispanic or Latino household. And here is our ACS 5-year estimates 2012, and here's the table that we're looking for. It's a little bit not quite halfway down the initial list. And just like with the other table, it has a unique number, an ID number, which you might want to hold on to because it can be useful for subsequent searching. And if we click into this table, we get that figure. It's basically a one-field table. So let's go back, and once again we'll clear out our screen. Now, it turns out that the final search for mean household income turns out to be a little more challenging. If we just change median to mean in our search and type mean household income Hispanic Latino, what we're going to find is that we don't get the data we want. I'm not exactly sure why that is, but it is possible to get this data or a reasonable approximation of it. You just have to try a different approach, and I'm going to show you what worked for me. So from the advanced search screen, the first thing that I want to do is select the race and ethnic groups option from the menu on the left side of the screen. And this is going to open up a window, a little pop-up window, and it includes 2 tabs, one that's called Basic Groups and another one that's titled Detailed Groups. And what you want to do is select Detailed Groups, the Detailed Groups tab. And this expands that pop-up window quite a bit. And it's got a search field in it. So the search field near the top of this pop-up window, you want to type Hispanic. And hit go. And this brings up 36 results. And among these is one that's titled Hispanic or Latino of any race. And it includes data from ACS surveys. And it has a code which is 400. So you want to select the checkbox next to this. And then go up to the top of the list and click on the add link to add it to your search. And so this criterion moves up to this top left area of your window. And now you can close this little pop-up window just using this close link. Now once you have this set up, now we can return to the search field for topic and type mean household income and hit go. Now it turns out that none of the tables in the results list uses the 2008 to 2012 ACS 5-year estimates as a data source. So the closest approximation we can get to that survey is the 2010 to 2012 ACS 3-year estimates. So we can use that. Beyond this, the titles of the tables are general rather than specific, and none of them have income in the title. But the results did match our search criteria. So if we select a table titled Selected Population Profile in the United States for the 2012 ACS 3-year estimates, which is the 5th one on this list here, what we'll find is that this data is limited to the Hispanic or Latino population. There's an indicator of that near the top of the table. And it does provide us with a reasonable estimate of mean household income if we scroll down a bit down the screen. So let's get to where income is on this table. There's a lot of data here. But finally, we get to it. So here we have income in the past 12 months in inflation adjusted dollars. And the mean figures are listed starting here and in this entire section. Now the figures in this table are not quite ideal because they take the mean household income figure for the Latino population as a whole and they break it up into segments based on 5 different categories of income. But it's not entirely unreasonable to use the figure for mean earnings in dollars as your national Latino figure for mean household income. So I recommend you use that. So in this tutorial, we've covered how you can obtain some of the data that you need for your assignment. We've gotten the national measures for the total U.S. population and the Latino population using American Factfinder's search and browse features. Now in a follow-up video, I'm going to show you how to get the same type of data for smaller geographic units.